Hey, good morning. So I'm here in a little above garage studio apartment, installing some cabinets in a little kitchenette. In a previous video, I did a video called Tight Space Range Hood Vent. That's that. Now that it's been sheetrock and it's installed, that's there. And I'm installing these nice cabinets. I thought it'd be a good opportunity to make a little video about how to kind of find center points and cut holes for a situation like this in the back of a sink base cabinet. So we have some snap together flooring here. You can see that. But you're not allowed to pinch the click together flooring. So I've shimmed it up a little bit so that it's actually floating right here. And there's a gap here. So this can expand and contract. So there won't be any problem with the floor. You just got to remember that when you're doing flooring or when you're setting cabinets. When it comes to this kind of floating, it's a floating floor. That's what it is. It's a floating floor. But I'm not messing it up. I should have started the video when I started setting these, because I did kind of a whole thing where I established this blue line you see snapped on the wall. The trick really to setting cabinets is just to find the high point of the floor. And a laser level will help you do that, but you can really just use any level. I set up my laser and it just shoots a line on the wall, just at any point. And then I go along with my tape and I measure to that laser line, and the smallest number will be the highest point. So if there's a high point in the floor, that number will be smaller. And when I find that, I circle it with my pencil. I then measure up off of that point what I want my cabinets to be set at. These are 34.5. All cabinets these days are 34.5. So these are 34.5 inches from here to the bottom. That's not counting the countertop. So after a piece of countertop, it usually comes out to be about 36, depending on what kind of thickness of countertop you use. It should always be around 36 inches high. Back in the old days, they did kitchen vanities that were way super shorter. I don't know why, if that was for little kids or what. But all cabinets these days come at 34.5. When you add a piece of 3 centimeter quartz on the top, I think that's about 1 1/8. So you ended up with about 5 5/8. It gets right around. They're counting a max of 1.5 inches top to get to 36. Of course, here I've done a little shimming and stuff, so it won't. Maybe it's gonna be very close to 36, but it doesn't matter. Just find the high point, and you go off of that. Once you measure 34.5 up from the high point, you can put your laser, if you have a tripod, you can put your laser on that line and then snap your line. So I've got a perfectly level line here, right where I want my cabinet set at. I also have some vanity cabinets to do in here. This is going to be a little vanity area. A previous video I did on how to change out old vinyl windows. Well, these are the new vinyl windows. There's 2 here and 2 over there. So just to get caught up, we also did this little tile shower. Really, really nice. I didn't do it. One of my coworkers did it, and he did an excellent job. And I'll be also trimming out these edges with some PVC trim. That's kind of the way we do it here. That's the shower pan. It's just protected with some cardboard. But I really like this classic sort of Subway look, and they chose a really nice grout that's a little darker, really attractive. It's got a light in it. So yeah. I'm getting ready to set this sink base. I'm missing one cabinet. It's on back order. So I have a 7-inch cabinet and a 2-inch filler going there. But this is going to be a cooktop. So you're standing right here. You look up. There's the hood vent. This will be a cooktop. This will get cut out. This is the cooktop. So so this is where the cooktop will be, right below the hood vent here. But what I'm going to show today is how to make this happen in the back of a cabinet in a way that looks nice. You could, because it's just a sink base, you can just cut a big square hole out. And a lot of guys will just do that. I don't really like to do that. I like to make it look nice in there. So I like to find all the center points and get all the holes cut just right. Maybe a little bit of room around there, so we can put some trim plates and stuff around there. But anyway, we've got a hot and a cold water line, hot, cold. Here's the drain, and here's just a clean out for the drain. The unit, the sink base is sitting right here. So I'm gonna take those doors off so that I don't scratch them. And it's lighter. It's there's no shells, it's hollow, so it's already pretty light. But this is actually like 11 ply cabinet grade plywood, so they're actually actually pretty darn heavy. This has like a thing in the bottom of it for water in case there's a drip or anything. It's a waterproof mat with little divots that'll catch the drop so it won't spread around. So yeah, I'll go ahead and get the tripod set up and set this thing up, and then show you how to do the measuring and the marking and the laying out and the drilling. Testing. Okay, here we are. Find my tape measure here. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna measure off. I'm gonna pick one side, obviously this side, and for all these things I need to cut, I'm gonna measure off the same side each time, and I'm just gonna find, as best I can, the center point. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the cabinet over here, and I'm gonna hook on the back of that cabinet, where it would be here. I'm gonna measure over to the center of this, the center of this, the center of this, and the center of this, and I'm just gonna kind of guess the height and make a mark. Then I'm gonna measure down. If you can see that in the camera, yeah, from the blue line, because I'm not gonna measure up from the ground because this is elevated up off the ground, so this number won't be right. See? So I'm gonna measure down, actually from maybe here, because I'm just below my blue line, but the blue line's pretty close. To find the other centers, mark the center of everything. Okay, and then find the right size. My hole saw for this to get around this. It's actually gonna have to be pretty big. It's gonna have to be like 3 inches, even though that's only, a 2-inch pipe. It's got this crap on it. Same here, here, and here. These are 1/2-inch lines. I'll probably use a 3/4. I leave myself a little wiggle room. I don't want it to be too tight. These will get trim plates on them anyway. Okay, so that's what I'm gonna do. First, I'll just pop these doors off. So you guys can see there, I've got these little plates on them. I'll just pop those off. Quick. Plates. Those in there. Gotta push a little button here. And it comes right off. So that's pretty clever the way they do that. Push a little button here. This one's kind of backwards. You got to push and pull. Normally you just pull on it. Okay, so now I'm free there. Just leave those in there. Actually, I'll take them out. I'll take this out for now so I don't mess it up. Use it for protection. All right. Okay. This is just so that the texture guys didn't get texture all over this, because the plumber has to have this clean when he puts his valves on it. But okay, let's go over here. I would measure out here because this could be bent and going off at an angle. You want to measure where it's going to be coming through the cabinet. So you gotta stay right back against the wall here. Okay, so this one looks like it's a 6, and this one looks like it's a 10. Just dead center. 6, 10. So I'm going to hook the back of my cabinet, go 6, 10. Make sure you're hooking the correct side. It's kind of tough because it's off a little bit. 6, 10. Okay. This one's up just a little higher. I'm going to call it, looks to me like 12 1/4, be real close to dead center. So I'm going to go 12 1/4. Bump just above it a little bit. 12 1/4. Okay. So we got our little tick mark, just a guess, but that one's a little higher. Okay. And finally, we've got our drain here. I'm going to go back here. This one's also 12 1/4, which it should be because they're on the same pipeline. So this is also 12 1/4. But these are going to be different size holes. So 12 1/4 for this one, and it's just below those other two. What'd I say? 12 1/4. Another 12 1/4, but down a little. Okay, that's our center lot. Our center point's going horizontally. Now we'll go vertically, but we have to pull down from the top, from our blue line. Okay. Don't make the mistake of measuring from the bottom if you've got it shimmed up off the floor or something. Whatever your reference point is, whatever you have things set at, which I'm going off that blue line, go off of that. I'm actually a hair below my blue line, but I was at the beginning. But I can kind of take that into account. So, I'm going to measure down here. The first one, they should be pretty close. But let's just call this 19 7/8. So let's go 19 7/8. This one, same. And this one, I'm gonna call it 17 3/4. And this one, 22. There we go. Okay, so we've got 19 7/8. That's from going the other way. This is that side. So the first one, actually these two, 19 7/8. Let's see what we got here. Oh, I'm pretty close. So if I just continue, I'll just use my tape to kind of make that line go through. 7/8, 19 7/8. Kind of do the same thing here. 19 7/8. That should be it. 3/4 inch hole there should do it. With 17 1/4 will be this one. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Look how close I was guessing on that. And then the next one, 22. This one's a little off. Extend it down. 22. There we go. So got a little hole, bigger, bigger, biggest. Let's get the bit set up. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this pretty aggressive 3/4 inch bit. I wouldn't typically use one of these. It's very aggressive. This is for like, for an electrician to drill through a stud, just a big, rough, fast hole. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gently go, I'm gonna go till it pokes through one way, and I'm gonna come out the other way, so it makes a nice, so it doesn't just blow out the inside of the cabinet. I'm gonna be, this is what I have handy, so this is what I'm gonna use. But if you do use something like this, just go through the back until the tip pokes through, and then come inside and go out so that it makes a nice hole and just blow it out. Okay. It's already through. I'll do this one too. That just made a little poke through, and I'll go through the back. There we go. That actually ended up looking okay. There's just a little bit of blowout there, but that's fine. It's gonna get a trim plate over it. But that'll make it a lot neater than if I had just come straight through the back. That'd just be a big mess. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna go 2.5 on the clean out, because it's really about 2.25 or a little more. So I'm just gonna make it just a little bigger to make sure I have a little wiggle room. So I'm gonna do the same thing, even though this is a pretty good bit. It's got nice sharp teeth. I'm gonna go through till the pilot bit punches through, and then I'm gonna go back the other way to make a nice clean cut. This is just like eighth inch plywood. It's nothing. So it's like the moment it goes through, it grabs, almost drills it out in one shot. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go 3 inches on the drain line. It's a brand new hole saw, never been used. The hole dozer. Ooh, it's so sharp. Right through. Wow. Like butter. There we have it. So now what I'm going to do is put a couple of these babies, because I've been lifting it up off the floor so it doesn't pinch the floating floor. I think I need to cut a couple more. Brought some up just for that. Here it is. This stuff you can just score it and break it. So I'm just going like that, snapping it, going like that, snap. Most things you can score and break, believe it or not. Okay, and this is a, what is it? 30-inch sink face. So I'm going to come over here, 30 inches. Now I'm going to put this, I'm going to split this. Does the camera see that? I'm going to split this on 30. So that part of it still sticks out, because I have another cabinet going in. So I'll put that baby there. this baby right here. Okay. Go ahead and set that on there. This goes here too. So it sits right on. Okay, that should do it. Get a couple shims and shim it in place. Whew. Here we go. Look at that. Like a glove, huh? Look at that. Oop, there it goes. Just a little bit of a hang up here. Look at that. Got just a little bit of a messed up thing going on here. Here, let's trim it a little bit. Woo! Trim just a little bit off this. Somehow I got just a little off. Just like that. There it goes. Oof. Broke it a little bit. There it goes. All right. So that looks pretty darn tight. Although I got that top hole there just a little off center. I don't know how that happened. Maybe it'll be better once I screw it all together, but there they are. That looks pretty good. Let's see how it's all lined up. All in there good.